I'm Archie from Northumbria University, studying design for industry. It was to provide a web-based platform in which we can upload and download information so that we can collaborate with external sources such as students or people within industry. It was an area where we could upload our project information, our brand identities that we created, all of the work we produced. We uploaded that onto the web space, and we then that enabled us then for the people on the other end of the connection to look at it, review it. They could give us feedback. We could give feedback on others, and allowed us to look at other people's work as well and see how they were progressing. There was loads of different tools. We used the Plone, and we used that was the one we uploaded the information onto, and we could view all of the other projects as well. We used teleconferencing, so we could communicate with the people from Intel, as well as the people from Motorola and the school out in Korea. We used Skype as well. We used that within groups with our Motorola project when we were discussing information with the people in Korea. We used Skype a lot, which enabled us to have video conferencing rather than just the teleconferencing, which was a real benefit. As well, we used emails to communicate. WordPress is another site we used in a different project to do a similar thing to the Plone, so we could upload the information. Dropbox. We used a program called Dropbox a lot as well, which enabled us to easily transfer data between, huge distances with real ease. Yeah, the best features of the Plone were the ability and the WordPress to an extent as well, because they were similar, were to the ability that we could view all of the other projects as well. I found that really helpful to see the different levels and where other projects were at, and see how you were comparing, and also the feedback you could give. Skype was great because you were able to see the people, which gives a much more personal touch rather than just hearing someone on the end of the phone. You can see and hear the person, and it's like you're sort of there with them, which is nicer. Emails were standard really, and Dropbox was great. It was much easier to transfer data using Dropbox than it was with the Plone. You could set up a secure file, and only the people that you add to it could access it, and it's much easier for transferring larger files and stuff like that. So.
Well, there's some time constraints though with Dropbox. Do you have to pick the items up within a certain time?
No, you have the file open or on your computer, and when you add someone, it goes into their Dropbox folder as well, and it's then a folder that stays there, and then anything you put into that folder will stay there until you delete it, so it can stay there for an unlimited period of time. The tools we used, they enabled the collaboration by obviously allowing us to communicate, but being able to discuss and design together, so that we could see how they were doing and we could give them feedback. And within the Skype meetings, we could bounce ideas around, and it was without these things, we couldn't have worked together. We could have just emailed them our work, but it wouldn't have given the same sort of feel. And within design, you can never really work on your own, and if you're doing a project together, then you need to be able to see them and interact with them, and so using these tools really enabled that. The differences between the two were the Plone felt a bit more sterile to use. It was a bit more complicated to use as well. The way in which the folders were organised, and you had to organise the folders, made it slightly more complicated. Whereas the WordPress was different in that it was more of a blog form, and you could personalise it slightly more, which was nicer to be able to do. If we've created our own brand identities, to be able to add that to the WordPress is a bit more beneficial, and we couldn't do that with the Plone. It took us a while to get used to, the system of Plone and how we used it and the best way to organise yourself, and how to update things. So that once we came to WordPress, we had all of that knowledge already there, and so we knew how to the best way in which to upload stuff and the format to use and to make it clear, and to be able to understand what you're saying, and to get your point across. So that was definitely helpful. I think to an extent we had the skills required. Perhaps more information about the best ways in which to communicate using these platforms. In the beginning of the Intel project on Plone, the way in which we started off uploading was using files, and we'd upload Photoshop files or Illustrator files, and it turned out that this was the wrong way to do it, and it was easier to upload a PDF with all of the information as a presentation in it rather than individual images, and so perhaps some information about the way in which to do that would be beneficial. I'm not currently using them at the moment. However, in the future, I think they're an extremely good way to reach across to other countries and to other people, and to put your personal thoughts and information out there. So to create a blog and things like that are really good thing to do, I think. I would say that none of them suit, or there's not a single one that would suit everything. You need to use a multitude of them. One thing that frustrated all of us with them was the fact that you were never in control of your presentations abroad. And I think in future, if there was a way in which there was a system out there that you could use so that the person doing the presentation was in control of the screen the other end, that would be really, really useful, because we had it a lot of the time where we were telling them which window to click on or to scroll down, and it wasted an awful lot of time making sure people are in the right place. Whereas with Skype, you can do a screen share so that the people on the other end are seeing your screen, so you can control the presentation. So something like that would be really good in the future, I think. It's been a massive help. Being able to talk to people within an actual industry rather than just within a university and their tutors, and it's sort of a fake reality, if you like. Whereas with the Global Studio, we were actually talking to people within Intel, real designers, real students from Motorola, and real designers from Motorola as well. And so to have that connection and learning the communication skills and the ability to present yourself and present your ideas to people above your peers was really, really great, and I think it's definitely helped within the world of sort of presenting and communication for me.